Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dailey Blend Show with me, Reed Dailey. In this week's episode, we've got updates on what's going on across Dailey Blend, Negronis with Greg and Drinks with Greg, our life optimizing playbook, the all-new daily golf project, which we're going to jump into in more detail, what's going on in the Friday top 5, and so much more. But before we jump into the show, I want to remind you, we are on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, YouTube. If you're a social person, and I am, we are on X and Instagram at Dailey Blend. You can find me at Reed Dailey on all platforms. That's LinkedIn, X, Instagram, whatever. When you've got a name spelled both weird on the first name and the last name, it's easy to get those handles. All right, let's jump into the show with all of that out of the way. So when I last talked to everyone, I was heading to San Francisco, and I had a fantastic trip. And San Francisco is the epitome of the high-low city. There are parts of that city that are in, a really bad state. I stayed in the Tenderloin, and it's a little rough. Then you've got parts down by the water that are in fantastic shape and just beautiful and magnificent. I had a fantastic time. I'm going to try to use the word fantastic more. And, everything from getting to check out the new Salesforce Tower Park, which is a park above the new bus terminal, to having a meeting with an old friend where instead of sitting in a coffee shop, we just went for a stroll, checked out that park, and it was just really different way to do a meeting and felt very West Coasty. I'm going to be spending more time out in San Francisco. So if you are out there and you are listening to this, hit me up, DM me, send me a message, email me, call me, text me, whatever. Let's connect. Let's grab coffee. The one thing that I thought was interesting with San Francisco is not as much of a cocktail town. There certainly were cocktails had, but I drank so much coffee on that trip. It was unbelievable how much coffee I drank. If you do live out in San Francisco and you have any restaurant, bar recommendations, let me know. I was staying at the Proper Hotel, which I love. The rooftop is fantastic. I actually really liked the gym. It was the first time I used it. A little small, but did the trick. Looking to maybe try a different hotel, not in the Tenderloin, so I can kind of walk around. I'm a big pre-meeting, post-meeting, walk around, clear my head type of person. So probably going to stay down by the water. So if you know any spots, let me know. Hopefully I'm going to get to one of the NWSL games. That's the Women's National Soccer League, or an MLS game, or a Giants game, for that matter. Next time I'm out there, I'm going to be shooting ahead out there backside of May for an ACG conference. So I'm going to go check out wine country for the first time. Been to France's wine country and Champagne. I've never been to wine country America. So excited to do that and check that out for the first time. All right, enough about, before I jump into kind of the details on what's going on at Dailey Blend, I am heading out. I'm in town this week. Ton of meetings, ton of Zoom sessions, sneaking in around a golf this week, early on Friday. So excited about that. And next week, I am in Boston and New York City doing a little bit of split week, doing 2 days in Boston, and then trying to decide if I'm going to train or plane from Boston to New York. There's about an hour and a half savings if you do the plane from Boston to New York, but the train is just so easy and beautiful. So I might, if I can get up early enough and get that 5 o'clock train, I might do the train. So we'll see. All right, enough about kind of travel. Let's get into the meat of the show. So in terms of Dailey Blend music, we've got this great DJ I came across a couple days ago, Sam Gittis, and I think I'm saying his name right. I found this podcast / YouTube channel called Almost Weekend Project. And they have, I think, a podcast about startups. I haven't listened to it yet. And then they've got these DJ sets that are super down tempo, lo-fi. And Sam's Mix had a ton of hip hop remixes that I thought was great. And so I wanted to feature that on Music Monday. In terms of Daily Blend music, I am putting out episode 152 of the Daily Blend podcast. So the difference is this is the Daily Blend Show with Q&A, and Daily Blend podcast is mix series. The episode 152 is coming off of what was really a down-tempo mix coming from Winter Music Conference, where this is, I'm calling it melodic tech house. I don't know how better to describe that. There were some fun remixes that I found that I really liked for this mix. So looking forward for you guys to all hear that. That should be up on SoundCloud later tonight if you're listening to this. And of course, up and available on dailyblend.com. Moving from Daily Blend and Daily Blend music, let's talk about what's going on with Drink with Greg. So we've taken a little bit of a pause on the podcast just because we're both busy, but the content's been rolling out pretty strong. And because it was the Kentucky Derby 150th racing of that, I was looking for drinks that sort of inspired me that were not a mint julep. I do not have a mint julep cup, and therefore I did not want to get annoyed by the fact that I didn't have that cup. So we went with a maple bourbon smash. And the drink recipe is over at drinkwithgreg.com. I highly recommend you checking out. But I was more interested in one of the key ingredients by a guy named Rob Turner, who invented this drink. And it came from his maple syrup company, Crown Maple. And so Rob and team, if you are hearing this, if you've seen our Instagram post, hit us up. We want to talk about your business. Let's do a little bit of dual episodes. We'll do entrepreneur and business ownership on Daily Blend. And over on Drink with Greg, let's talk about making a maple bourbon smash with some of your incredible Crown Maple. And check that out. In terms of tomorrow, so tomorrow marks the first time that we are actually sort of activating the Tuesday Night Negroni. So we've got everything in place, the hashtags, the website, the artwork, etc. But tomorrow night, Greg and I are both promising the world of cocktails, all of our Negroni-loving fans, that we are going to kick off Tuesday Night Negroni. So if you are on Instagram, and a lot of you are, I've heard it's a good site. Don't forget to take a picture with your Negroni and give us a hashtag of Tuesday Night Negronis. Do it on your posts, stories, whatever. Heard the kids like reels these days. Whatever is in your wheelhouse. Switching back to Daily Blend, which maybe I should change the order a little bit. We've been focusing on this life optimization playbook, and I really now just officially hate the name. But I do love my meeting minutes template, and I'm getting super addicted to this. I print out, 30 copies a week. It usually serves me pretty well, and I'm able to kind of capture some notes, and then afterwards I go back and plug them in. And a lot of people say, well, couldn't you just type in your notes? Why are you doing an extra step? And yes, there are certain situations where I do type them in, but there are certain situations where I'm on camera or people are talking fast, and just shorthand is easier and faster. And what's been great is a couple situations where friends, teammates, colleagues, people I've interacted with, people I'm jamming with on ideas are like, hey, what did we talk about again? And I just take a picture of my notes and say, sorry for the poor handwriting, but here you go. And it's been working out fantastic. I want to make a couple tweaks in terms of proportions. And then we got to figure out a proper name for this thing, because life optimization playbook is just a mouthful, and it just sounds ridiculous. Okay, so going from, I'm going to take a sip of my recess drink. Sponsor the pod. Going from kind of the life optimization playbook, we're going in a totally different direction with the next part of the show. We're talking about the daily golf project. So we're working on, myself and a couple others, but mostly I'm leading the charge here, are working on a golf project. It's going to be some sort of thing to do with golf. Not sure what it's going to be yet. We're going to be, picking out a name, building a brand, the whole thing. But what we're going to start with is, really kind of getting feedback from people. So we're taking a very data-driven, analytical approach to exploring the different golf brands, why people like them, why people use certain brands, what makes them enjoy the brands, purchase the brands, become a repeat purchaser, where they think golf is going, both as a sport, as a consumer, on and off the course. So the elements that we're going to do to sort of build this up, we're going about it in a very data-driven, kind of consultative nature, as you would likely expect of someone who's been a consultant. So every week on the Friday Top 5, we're going to be featuring a new golf brand or a golf brand that I'm interested in. And then we're going to break down some of the aspects of what makes it popular, how do they, how many products are they putting out, kind of how are they going to market, and, capturing all that data. So you're going to hear the word data here a lot over the next couple minutes. And then we've launched a survey, and we sent it out to about 100 people. So we sent it out to a select group of people. I've learned this the hard way. Don't send out your survey to your full sort of list right away. Get it right, figure it out, make some updates. So we sent out the first wave. We got feedback on it. It was great. We'll make a couple tweaks to it. Then we're going to send it out to about 1,000, 2,000 people and get a little more feedback. So we're going to use all that data and weave that into sort of thinking about the brand launching, etc. And then we are going to have a series of meetups. And so we're going to either do those on YouTube Live, or we're just going to do Google Meets and get people's feedback in real time. And then to even add more to the data pile, I'm doing 50 or so one-on-one sessions with people. Some of them are structured, some of them are unstructured, doing a lot of data capture, note-taking, kind of ideating on those. Got already about 10 sessions in. I've got pages and pages of notes and really getting some interesting stuff there. So excited about that. We're going to track everything. We're going to have a daily golf project section to Dailey Blend. So if you want to follow along, you can. You're going to be able to follow along, obviously, on our Instagram. So it's likely going to be website is the primary, Instagram is the second, and YouTube will be the third. That's going to be kind of our trifecta there. So if you're interested in getting involved, being a part of it, just hit me up. The more the merrier. I'm liking the vagueness of this a little bit in terms of just trying to define what it is and it's going to become. And, looking to have a little bit of fun and use data to drive some decisions. In terms of what else is going on, not much else, just doing a little bit of, like I said, a little traveling here. Excited for the warm weather and golf season here in Chicago. I'll close it out with mentioning the newsletter. So we've been pretty fantastic, not perfect, but pretty fantastic about putting out the newsletter every week. It comes out either on Fridays or Saturdays, kind of playing around with what people like better. But usually it's either a Friday Top 5 or a Saturday Slowdown. And it's been almost even sort of take rate on the newsletter, depending on the days, which is interesting from a data standpoint. And we're going to continue to use that to, like I said, showcase golf brands and talk about other brands that I'm interested in and things that just generally make me happy that I want to share with you to kick off the weekend. Wrapping out the show, just a reminder, we are on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to the show on X and IG. And check us out on daileyblend.com. You can find me on Instagram, X, and LinkedIn at Reed Dailey. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next episode.